One.
This is Anthony Marquez, better known as Kung Lao for Mortal Kombat. Make sure to like and subscribe to NerdCage Live. Be there. Us.
Hi, I'm Leah Montalongo, the OG Sindel. Please like, subscribe to NerdCage Live.
NerdCage Live and gaming are a perfect match.
Shoot the J, Joe. Okay. Shoot it!
All right.
Over on NerdCage Live on Twitch, Jay and Joe go live.
Call me Bazooka Joe.
It's all about you.
Kaboom!
Playing both old school and new school games every Tuesday night. Ooh, what a sight!
Jay, stop looking at her face and run.
But she's so beautiful!
So be sure to follow NerdCage Live on Twitch.
Run for your life, Joe. Run for your life, Joe.
Running.
Run faster. Oh no, Joe. The galaxy's doomed because of you.
To scratch your gaming itch.
Oh, nice kick, Joe.
Thank you.
Yo, that's diabolical. Wait. Yo!
That's twitch.tv/NerdCage Live. Greetings, citizens! You're now trapped in a nerd cage with your hosts Mark and Jay. We hope you have a smashing good time.
Jeffrey Wright.
You're now about to witness the strength of geek knowledge. Hello and welcome. That's right, you're trapped in Nerd Cage Live. This ain't just a reaction show, even though we're reacting today, but a debate show and a live discussion on everything that makes people like you tick. So thank you for joining us tonight on this Saturday evening bonus stream. All things DC Fandome reaction. So please hit that like button and subscribe. I am your co-host, Jay St. G, certified geek, 7 days a week, coming to you live from Syracuse, New York, and always with me, the warrior from Wakanda, the Fiend from Louisville, my man, Mark Withers. What's shaking?
What's going on, man? Super excited to be here as usual. And yes, thank you so much for whoever's tuning in right now for this special reaction stream for today's DC Fandome. To be honest, I don't know why I'm here. I didn't get to watch it, but I did listen to it a little bit, in the car. I'm just here to sort of react to the things that I heard. And of course, joining us tonight Sorry, guys. Joining us tonight from Movie Aficionados is Josh Burris. How are you, sir?
How's it going, man? Movie
Awesome.
Aficionados. Yep.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. And of course, our moderator, Fallen One Gaming. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to jump right into this. I watched the whole thing today. Twice.
Awesome. Awesome. You can fill us in. But before we start with all that, who's in the chat right now?
Right now in the chat, we have Paul Tackett, we have Billy Mount III, Joey Sullivan, and Byron Kingsley.
Awesome.
Thank
Guys,
you everybody
thanks.
for coming in. I know this is out of the norm for us to do a Saturday stream, but DC Fandome is such a big event, especially in the comic book and comic book movie genre. We had to do this. Honestly, I wanted to do this last year. I just figured it'd be best just to do a stream right afterwards. And yes, Paul is right. Welcome back, Mark. It's been a minute since we've had you on the live.
Thanks. It has been a minute. Yeah,
And
since the
same
last
with
watch
Josh.
party, probably.
So this is a nice return to form tonight, having some of the old crew back, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. We got a lot to sort of dig into. First off, the fandom event kind of seemed short to me. It was like only like 4 hours, if I'm correct.
About 4 hours, yeah.
Right? Yeah. Do you guys know like why they didn't do it like last year, where it was more of like an all-day thing?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. They move. I will say this: they moved every single panel. They moved quick this year.
Right.
Whereas last year we were treated to a lot of like behind the scenes that like with voice actors and comic book artists. They really toned that back this year, and they really just focused on the movies and TV shows and away from the comics and voice acting stuff. I mean, we did get a really cool panel with Todd McFarlane and his toys and stuff, and like the stuff that's coming out. But yeah, this was definitely movie and TV show oriented for sure. Definitely a advertisement for HBO Max.
Right.
But yeah. But Joe, since you're the moderator, man, where do you want to begin? What do you want to talk about first, DC Fandome?
We want to start. We can either start with Arrowverse or we can start with some of the HBO Max series.
Okay.
We can probably start with series if you want.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
I mean, you're the one that watched the whole thing, so yeah, like you let us know.
And Joe, you're the Arrowverse guy, so you know what? Go ahead. So what are your thoughts on obviously they had the Supergirl panel talking about like it's the final season, and they also revealed that Superman and Lois is getting season 2. So go ahead. What were your
and also side note, I'm sorry, Joe, before you start. In the chat, help us out too. You know, put your comments in there and tell us what you're excited about as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh, thanks for saying that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we want to hear from you guys.
Get us up to speed. You guys,
let us know like what was exciting to you, what you thought of fandom overall. But yeah, Joe, back to you. What do you want to start with in terms of the Arrowverse?
Well, I'm going to start with Supergirl just because I've been watching this since it started, and it's been a wild ride. And to see this wrap up in the way that it is and kind of pass the torch to the new movie, it's good to see, but it's sad at the same time because I've been so invested with the series.
Right.
It was awesome to see the panel kind of give a hat tip to Melissa Benoist and the entire crew, and it was kind of emotional, to be honest. So that was that was kind of special. As far as like Batwoman and Stargirl, I don't think I've really seen much of those, so I can't really weigh in on them too much. However, Superman and Lois, that was an
great
amazing
show.
season.
Yeah,
So
I love that show.
I can't wait to see the next season come out from them, and the behind the scenes was great. The panel that they put up, it's pretty moving. So I did like those. And I don't think anything else from the Arrowverse really came up except for Grant Gustin kind of showing off his new suit that's going to be in the next one that he's got the gold boots for now.
Right.
But other than that, I don't think the Arrowverse didn't really have much to it in this fandom. If you want to move on to HBO Max, Jay, we do have a lot of seasons picking up there.
Yeah, so real quick, HBO Max, they revealed Titans is going to get a season 4. Doom Patrol is getting season 4. Harley Quinn is getting season 3, expecting to drop next year. And interesting bit of information. I never watched the show, but Pennyworth is getting a season 3 with a big.
That's a great show.
And that's going to HBO Max. So I guess January it's going to HBO Max. The first 2 seasons, with the 3rd season dropping in the fall of next year.
Right.
And I guess if we want to tack it on top of that, Peacemaker had the most excellent panel. And they gave us a in-depth trailer of what to expect from Peacemaker, which is going to be an 8-part HBO Max miniseries launching January 22nd, I believe.
Okay.
I was completely blown away by it because I thought John Cena was one of the highlights of the Suicide Squad, and
Idris Elba as well too.
Yeah.
Right.
But you can see that he's in his element, and like they're showing the behind the scenes of like all the bloopers and them just laughing because John Cena's so funny.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really great.
So I was a little worried about that Peacemaker spinoff for me because, I guess spoilers for Suicide Squad if you'd seen it, I felt like the character needed to be more redeemed still after the events and what took place. And I was like, I don't know if I can get behind a character like that if he's not redeemable, you know what I mean? So
I'm glad you brought that up because they kind of hinted at that, saying like, is he gonna are they going to spend time with him where he's going to redeem himself by the end of the show? And they kind of just said, well, we can't talk about that. So that kind of gave that away, and I'm glad you brought that up. But interesting note, Mark, guess what actor is playing Peacemaker's father?
Isn't it Robert Patrick?
Yes! The T-1000!
Wow.
Robert
Okay.
Patrick is going to be Peacemaker's father. And oh my God, I cannot wait to see the banter between Robert Patrick and John Cena. That just writes itself. And again, James Gunn wrote the whole series. He directed 5 out of the 8 episodes, and he was talking about, and he was just going on saying, I cannot believe Warner Brothers is letting me do this. Like, this is like a whole lot of fuckery and this and that. And yes, like this really does look like it's got that over-the-top humor. Clearly, it's a prequel and a sequel. I think this is going to be a solid win for HBO Max. And like I said before when we reviewed Suicide Squad, John Cena is a star now.
Right on.
I commend them for going outside the box and, bringing the competition to Disney Plus and, and Marvel because you kind of have to. They're going, all crazy over there on the other side with the Lokis and the other stuff. I'm excited to see if they do, the crazy stuff and the funny stuff too. It's important.
Same here.
Oh, and
Same
another
here.
character
Just
that was revealed in Peacemaker, Vigilante, is going to be one of the DC characters in the show. That was really the only one I recognize. I can't really. Some of the other characters that they showcase, I don't really. Maybe you would know because you're more savvy than I am. But Vigilante, was the one I recognized. So that would be pretty cool that James Gunn once again is incorporating a lot of these obscure DC characters into the show.
I was going to say Amanda Waller and Steve Aggie's crew, were they on the panel as well? The people that worked for her or no?
The people that worked for her, yes, but Viola Davis wasn't there, and she does not look like she's in the show. At least not. I mean, maybe they'll reveal her, but that she wasn't in the panel or anything.
Yeah. So just jumping into the chat real quick. We got a couple questions. They're pretty simple. Like Billy Mount III says, will this be a reaction live stream? Yes, that is basically what we're doing here. If you're just joining us, we are reacting to today's DC Fandome that took place. It was just a really short kind of 4-hour event where they kind of dropped what's going on in the DC universe for the next year or so. We're just basically talking about that. Paul Tackett asks, anyone watching Heels? I've heard good things about Heels. I have not checked it out yet. Have you guys watched any of it?
No,
but
I know
show?
I got a friend of mine who's like really into it, and I'm not mistaken. It's the wrestling show, right? About
it's Stephen Amell's new show. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard good things, but I have yet to check it out.
And he also says Black Adam, which is going to be a great transition because that was the thing I was waiting for, and that was how they kicked it off. Listen, I cannot wait for Black Adam. Mark, I'm not sure if you got the chance to actually see the footage. So the only footage they showed was the scene where Black Adam, emerges from the temple into whatever modern time it takes place in. And when the moment Black Adam comes out, he just straight starts fucking killing people right away.
I'm watching it right now.
Yeah, he chokes the guy. Pulls off a Mortal Kombat. He chokes the guy and electrocutes him to ash. And I'm like, yes! This is what I paid to see. I want to see Black Adam, the bad guy, The Rock being in his all badass glory, the role that he was born to play. I love the color palette. I love the presentation. I just love the vibe. I cannot wait. This movie cannot disappoint. This is going to hopefully change the DCEU moving forward, having a central character like that. And funny thing too. Pierce Brosnan kind of.
That's what I'm freaking out about. Like, whoa, Dr. Fate.
About like this was the best movie he ever worked on. He's like, I worked on James Bond for 10 years, doing 4 movies, and nothing compares to this, and blah blah blah. Which was basically him taking a shot at James Bond.
Right.
But yeah, they didn't reveal the. I mean, you just saw the brief like close up of the costumes of the other, Cyclone, Atom Smasher, Dr. Fate. But when they show Black Adam, Mark, he had like the hoodie cape on and the black suit. Oh God, it looked awesome. And
I thought he was actually watching the trailer right now. That was cool.
Yeah. So they start shooting at him, and he catches the bullet with his fingers, and then then he starts floating up, and they start shooting at him, and the bullets are bouncing. Oh my God, dude, I cannot wait. Oh my God. So it's basically like, if you think about it this way, this is The Rock being evil Superman, pretty much.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was blown away, and that was how they kicked things off. And to me, that was that's like the movie I'm most excited for among all the presentations. I'm not saying it was the winner.
Right.
We will get to the winner, but the thing I'm most excited for moving forward is definitely Black Adam. Like, this is the character I've been waiting for a really long time, and the history behind that movie has just been crazy. Like, the whole that movie was in development hell for well over a decade, and finally seeing it.
Well, when you put The Rock at the helm of anything, and I mean, even if it's the most watered-down, cookie-cutter movie, he's going to elevate it. This looks like it's something that's already elevated, that's just going to get more elevated and reach the pinnacle.
It's actually funny that you say that, because that segues into my next movie that he's doing voice acting for, which is Super Pets, which is a kids movie.
Yeah, that actually sounds pretty cool.
He's going to be the voice of Crypto, the dog.
Yeah,
I can't hate on that. I was actually charmed by it.
Yeah,
and
I thought just the concept of it is cool.
What's cool about it is that Crypto is voiced by Dwayne Johnson, and Ace, which is the other dog, is voiced by Kevin Hart. So you have their banter back and forth again.
So for people who don't know who Ace is the Bat Hound. He's Bruce Wayne's dog, and he's been seen in Batman Beyond, like as far as like cartoons and things like that. But most notably, he was more prevalent in the older Batman comics, like in the Silver Age, like in the 60s. So it's kind of nice to at least see, even though this is like a more of like a kids movie, it's kind of nice to see that that they bring him back. You know what I mean? Because we've seen different iterations of Crypto over the years, but we really don't see Ace that much.
Yeah,
so this is
really this is like DC's answer to like The Secret Life of Pets. Was exactly the impression I got. And
sure.
If anyone who's got kids, take a movie.
I was going to say, I definitely will. My daughter, one of her favorite movies is Moana, just so happens, which has The Rock. And, I think she would love this. That's good that's a movie and not a series on streaming. Yeah. It's an event to take her to. She could get behind Super Dish Loves Dogs. That whole side of the family, they have a bunch of dogs. And, The Rock and Kevin Hart, they had their chemistry together previously. So... It should be easy.
And another thing that came out of left field for me is when they're running down the cast at the end, and it says "and featuring Keanu Reeves," and I was like,
"Okay,
I don't know where they're going to That's
right."
Yeah, Keanu Reeves, man. Obviously he's like the internet's boyfriend. Everybody loves him, but remember he was in Toy Story 4. And so he's definitely got the voice acting chops too, and he can really project characters, so I'm actually looking forward to seeing who specifically he's gonna play. But yeah, it looks like a cute movie. I can't hate on that. I mean, I wasn't going in thinking, "Oh right, DC Super Pets, let's go!"
Right.
But no, I saw that little teaser and I was like, okay, this is something that looks pretty funny. I wouldn't mind seeing it,
Yeah.
If you want to switch into my realm for a little bit, we did have a couple games drop.
Yes!
New updates. First one we'll talk about is Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League, which seems like an amazing premise, and visually stunning to me. The trailer that they dropped. It has all of the Suicide Squad people that you would come to find, like Harley Quinn and Deadshot and all them, pinned up against. I guess it looks like Brainiac is attacking. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of like mind controlled the Justice League. So now they put the Suicide Squad against them to attack the threat.
And then there's that appearance with the Penguin at the end. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. That was awesome. Where King Shark's sitting there, blow up his head.
So did you got vibes of like Injustice kind of like with that trailer? Okay, similar style.
A little bit, except this is more of an RPG rather than a fighting game.
Yeah, it takes place in the same universe as Batman Arkham Asylum, but you're playing as the Suicide Squad.
I just meant more so with the style and with the format.
Brainiac.
Because for me, I would just think like, the Justice League would wipe them all out. Like Superman would just, and they're all dead. But I don't know. But in that world, even in the Injustice storylines, it's like seems more even. Like Harley Quinn can fight Superman and not get heavy off.
Yeah, you gotta think that you want this game to be a challenge. You don't want it to be easy.
Sure.
So
yeah,
right.
I
mean, and you can kind of rationalize it. Like if you really try, like you can kind of rationalize
you have to suspend.
Because if it's the other way around and you're playing as Superman saving the world, like. Boom, done.
Right.
I love the slogan that they came up for it, which is "Don't be a hero."
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But I'm telling you, Gotham Knights is the one I'm personally excited for, and they went really balls deep into. So it's about the Court of Owls, and they really went really deep into that. And I am just blown away by like the art style, the gameplay. Again, it's a very in-depth story of the Court of Owls, and they went behind the scenes with like some of the comics creators of that comic series and whatnot. And I just I think to me, among all the games that were talked about, like Gotham Knights is the one I'm most excited for. I know last year they teased it, but this year they really like in depth.
Yeah. That was the trailer I seen. It was a teaser. Yeah.
Yeah. And what'll be amazing is the 4-player co-op aspect of it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's going to be great.
Yes.
You don't need a multi-tap anymore. You can actually play online with people.
Exactly, yeah.
Although I miss the days of having my friends over and playing on the split screen.
Hell yeah.
Mario Kart and GoldenEye. But yeah.
Yeah, all of us are older guys. I think we all miss that.
But without a doubt, I'll say this right here, right now, both Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights, we will get those games and we will Twitch them. We will absolutely Twitch those up for sure online, like pronto. Like as soon as those games drop, we will definitely play those games on NerdCage Twitch.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
All right, so the next thing I have on the docket here is the behind the scenes of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Wasn't a whole lot shown.
Not really.
It was mainly artwork. They showed a lot of artwork. Obviously, they revealed the whole cast. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited for it, but I really think it was they didn't really get to show a whole lot, really.
What I liked was the whole Black Manta aspect of it, because I didn't really get to see much of him, and they kind of did a whole behind the scenes with him in this panel, so I kind of liked seeing that.
Yeah, so maybe we'll have a bigger plot this time. Don't get me wrong, I thought the first movie, considering all the stuff they fit in the first movie, maybe the impression that, like I said, what Joe just says, maybe this is going to be more Black Manta-centric than the first movie was.
Yeah.
That brings me to Shazam, Fury of the Gods.
Oh my. So again, this was another one of those panels where they didn't really show too much, but they showed them filming, and they were showing scenes of Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren's characters just wrecking shit, blowing shit up.
Now, who are they playing in this movie?
So they are. I forgot exactly what gods they are. But they're basically the villains. They're the someone in the chat, please chime in.
I also have a question too about the timeline with this and Black Adam. Because I've seen some of the I'm watching some of the Black Adam. I'm watching some of the Shazam now. How does that?
Black Adam's
is
a prequel.
Pre or post? So it is.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So I can probably answer some of that. So Black Adam is typically, not typically, like essentially going to be set in the 1940s, and so the heroes that surround him or the other characters are basically heroes from the Justice Society, from like the golden age of DC, where Shazam is going to be modern day, and Shazam and Black Adam won't meet until the third Black Adam movie, I believe. Is what Zachary Levi.
The third Shazam movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm remembering now the hologram too. The hologram from Shazam.
First Shazam, they made two references to Black Adam. One at the beginning where the Wizard explained that he had a previous champion.
And that was the hologram.
Yeah. And then,
right.
then at the very end, where they all sat down on the thrones, and they're like, "Well, whose chair is that?" And they were referencing Black Adam. And don't forget, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson also produced Shazam. So so Shazam 2 takes place after the first Shazam, and it looks like I said, the two villains are goddesses portrayed by Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu, and they're just completely wrecking shit. And obviously now that the Billy Batson's a little older, he's got a girlfriend now. He's got like other relationships, and then of course the relationship between the whole Shazamly. It really looks good. And they were talking about like this one's got a bigger scale, bigger budget, bigger set pieces than the first one did, because the first one was done on a microscope budget. This time they have a sizable budget this time, and it looks like the stakes are much higher. So yeah, that was actually a really, really good panel. They said the movie's not coming until 2023, and the movie's done filming. So that just tells me that they're going to take a whole entire year and a half to work on the special effects, and that I'm glad.
I'm sure they have a whole lot of CGI to throw in there, a whole lot of stuff to do in post. So it's going to take them a while.
Yeah, I think the fun thing was when the kid came out to actually talk about it, and then when it switched to the adult, it did the little lightning flash, so it looked like he was changing right on stage. That was pretty fun.
They're taking their time, and like I go to the movies, like I said, 48 times this year. I'm seeing the people come out. I'm seeing the theaters pack up and pile up. So by that time, plus more vaccinations, et cetera, you're going to see a lot more people in the theater, and hopefully we can get back to normal, like normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hopefully HBO Max doesn't, stab these movies in the back.
That's true too. That is. I guess we can't. You reminded me. I guess we can't go back to normal.
The next one I was going to talk about is obviously the Batman.
Oh yeah. Oh
man. Now that I actually stopped. Yeah,
I just watched it now.
Okay, I'll say this. The thing that blew me away about the trailer was Colin Farrell's Penguin.
Yeah.
That was the highlight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's surprisingly good at it. I saw pictures of him and everything, but I didn't know how it was going to translate, and it's not bad.
Yeah. I like that scene at the very end of the trailer where like there's that explosion and he's like, I got you. And then you just see the Batmobile just like fly through the fire. I just thought that was pretty cool.
I like how they went back to
that the Batmobile's got a blue flame coming out in the back.
Yeah, I like that too.
And they went back to kind of a classic look rather than, the tank that they had in the Christian Bale movies and everything.
Right. And I like the approach, the overall approach. I was listening to what Matt Reeves was kind of saying about it and how this is going to be like a year 2 Batman. So he's already become Batman, but he's still figuring a lot of stuff out. And all of the gadgets are just prototypes. Like there is no Lucius Fox. He's just like trying to figure this stuff out on his own. I think that's going to add a nice layer, as far as like showing not being like your typical origin story. It's like he's going to be fumbling and stumbling through a lot of this stuff. It's going to make it a lot more.
We don't see Thomas and Martha die again.
Right, again.
Yeah.
The cinematography for this, that's my biggest thing. Like, I can get over a movie even with a bad plot, with a bad story, if you have great cinematography like this that looks beautiful, well lit, and not too dark, nice color palette, you know what I mean? But not too overly bright either. It's not too Marvel-y. It seems like a perfect blend that Matt Reeves has.
Oh,
like Robert Pattinson in the suit.
Real quick, Paul Tackett was just saying that back to Shazam real quick, that Lucy Liu's playing Calypso and Helen's playing
Sparrow. Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Okay, but yeah, back to Batman. Another thing too, my only criticism, and I'm sorry, and maybe Mark can argue because it's only year 2 of Batman, but I still think Robert Pattinson is a little small for the role.
Yeah,
really
I don't know. I gotta disagree. I like him in the suit. I like the new shots of him in the suit, and I love Robert Pattinson, of course. Lighthouse.
Don't be wrong, he's a great actor, but I just think he should have bulked up a little more. That's all. He looks really small.
Well, it's a year 2 Batman, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he's on his own. So
that's exactly what I was going to say. Is that, like, he's just starting out. Like, maybe he doesn't know that he needs to be this big to intimidate people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so this is all just really him just sort of figuring it out. I also want to say that the approach that they're taking with Catwoman is very interesting.
Yeah.
So instead of it just being like, oh, she's just a cat burglar and she's just trying to rip people off, she's more about like, I'm doing this for the people. Like I'm robbing the rich to help the poor out. Like, and making her like sort of like an anti-hero in a sense.
Close to Anne Hathaway, but not a whole 100% like that.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
I do like that Batman in this one is less disciplined. Like, he hasn't gone through those changes yet, so he's more of an angry youth, kind of. So you can actually see him lose control in certain moments, which is a cool element.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the dynamic between Robert Pattinson and Andy Serkis.
Yes.
Like, how they work together, what that chemistry is going to be like, because I feel like the most important component, like, in the entire Bat family is Alfred. He's their dad. You know what I mean? So if that doesn't work, I feel like the rest of the movie won't work. So that's the thing I'm most interested to see.
And keep in mind, Andy Serkis has worked with Matt Reeves on Planet of the Apes, so I'm sure Matt Reeves knows how to get the best performance possible out of Andy Serkis. And also, I just want to compliment Zoe Kravitz. Again, a woman born from perfect genetics. She's going to be a great Selena Kyle. She's absolutely got that look. I don't know how to describe it, but I mean, she's like, if you look at like the modern comics, you even look at like Injustice in the games, or even Batman Arkham Asylum, that's the look that Selena Kyle has. And it's just very reminiscent. Like, she looks great. If she can act as good as she looks, then she's gonna be like possibly one of the best Catwoman ever.
Yeah, I mean, judging from her past work, I mean, she was really good in High Fidelity. She was good in the Divergent series and like some other stuff that I've seen her in. She's really growing and evolving as an actress, and taking it really seriously. And so I think that everything that you said is correct in terms of like her look and the sultriness of her, just overall, just like there's an elegance to her. And I think that if the role is written correctly, this she's going to be great. She's going to be great in this.
Absolutely. But I think I was most, even though I know the Riddler's the main villain, I'm just floored by the Penguin, and I see why they're doing a Penguin prequel show. Which, by the way, they did not talk about that. But there's a Penguin prequel show coming to HBO Max.
Okay.
And I see why they're doing a Penguin spinoff, because when I saw that trailer, I'm like, oh my god, this Penguin's freaking awesome.
I don't want to gloss over.
Go ahead.
Good. I don't want to gloss over Paul Dano. I think he's going to be a great Riddler, and I felt with the first trailer back, whenever the hell that was, before or in the middle, I felt like it seemed like Seven, like the Seven with Batman kind of.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
with this trailer, it's moved a little bit more into seeing more action, and it's kind of moved away from that, but I'm actually curious. I hope they keep those mystery elements of, you've seen the question mark in the beginning and all that, and I hope it's really a detective story still, even if there's a lot of action in it,
Another thing that's interesting is they haven't even said what the rating's going to be, like if it's PG-13 or rated R. They have not
True, yeah.
That's a good point.
Really hope, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be PG-13 because they want that box office money, but man,
of course.
They have a golden opportunity to do a rated R Batman movie.
Yeah.
It'll still make money, because look at Joker. Joker was rated R, made $1 billion. I think they should take the risk, make this rated R, make this dark as possible. And I'm not saying go full on dicks and full money. I'm saying make this a very adult-oriented
absolutely
story.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be that. But I would say what I always say, which is that the rating should be what it is based off of the story they're gonna make.
Sure.
So I don't think they need to make sure that it's an R movie, and you know what I mean. They need to make a good movie, and then if it happens to be R, you know what I mean, if the elements exist for it to be an R rating, then keep those elements in and allow it to be R. Yeah. But don't make it so it's we've got to have this, we've got to have this, and make it bloody as fuck. We don't need that.
But when Joshua was talking about hey, this has Seven vibes to it,
Sure.
Seven is
super dark.
We did a look back on it. It's one of those grittiest movies of the 90s, and if that's the vibe they're gonna go for,
haunting, terrifying.
I think they can go for that, even if there's no R rating.
Yeah.
Because the thing that makes Seven what it is the overall creepiness to it and the sort of unknown element to it. You know what I mean? It's not the gore. I mean, if you really look at that film, there's not as much gore in it as people make out to make it out.
Some psychological elements. Yeah. I do want to say this though, in contrast to what you said, Mark, because I know you guys like Venom. I liked Venom to an extent, but I think it's okay. Oh, you didn't like it. Okay, I know you were talking about. Jason was talking about. It was all right. It wasn't. But either way, it did suffer. And I think you could agree from it being PG-13. And if it was R and they showed a little bit more gore, same thing with the first one, especially.
Sure.
I mean, it would have been grittier and a lot better, I think.
Right. I think it really depends on the type of movie you're going to make, right? Yeah. So, if they are in fact doing a psychological thriller, then you can have all of those psychological elements without gore. I mean, some of the best psychological dramas or psychological thrillers ever made have very little blood in them, right? Yeah. We can look at Psycho. We can look at try to think of some other movies.
Zodiac.
Right now. Yeah, Zodiac.
Prisoners to an extent too. Yeah.
Right. Villeneuve. Yeah. So you don't really need that. Now, would it make it better? Possibly. To see some of that graphic imagery, possibly. Yeah. But again, I feel like the most important element is the writing. It has to be well written.
No, you're 100% right. You're 100%.
Yeah.
I agree. It was just interesting because they didn't with movie we're actually less than 6 months away from the Batman dropping. And we don't know if it's going to be R or PG-13, so that's all.
Yeah, DC loves me and my birthday because mine's March 18th. So they gave me Justice League earlier in this year. So now I'm going to get Batman in March too.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Now, for this next segment.
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, keeping it Batman-centric, The Flash.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the winner.
Watching glimpses of this.
Definitely the winner of today's fan.
I watched the trailer. So, Joe, back me up on this. Was that Ben Affleck's Batman that was talking in the beginning saying, Barry, you have the ability to run out of this universe. Why don't you do it? Was that Ben Affleck's Batman talking?
I'm not sure.
I think
it sounded like Michael Keaton to me.
Yeah, it sounded like it could be either or. I'm not really sure. I think that's basically what they were going for, is to just have a voice there and have people kind of figure out who it is.
Yeah.
And it could be neither of them, honestly, because listening to it, it sounded like Ezra Miller was saying, like, hey, we don't really have enough to give you like a real trailer. Like, we cobbled this together. So it could be. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What I noticed is that the message that they were trying, if you follow the Flash at all, when they start talking about you can go to different timelines, they're talking about Flashpoint. That's literally what they're talking about at this point. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they're kind of dropping little nuggets here and trying to have people follow breadcrumbs to where it is, because they can't make a trailer yet. They don't have enough, according to
that.
Yeah, but the big reveal, obviously, was they did show Michael Keaton's Batcave in the back of Michael Keaton there, and the whole internet lost their mind. Don't get me wrong, I thought it was cool. I just had that concern that, like, this is a very Batman-focused movie, but it's the Flash's movie, so
right.
That's all.
I do have to say, I do like the Flash's updated suit.
Yes.
It looks a lot better than the one he had in Justice League.
I think the suit does look really good.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to see the suit, but
with the yellow,
I'm sure you'll agree.
Oh, so it's similar to like the comic, like
Go ahead. Kind of glow, like it has the red, but it kind of glows yellow with the Flash energy and everything. So I mean, it's an upgrade for sure.
Cool.
See, yeah, maybe they'll go full No Way Home, and they'll have Val Kilmer, they'll have George Clooney, they'll have other Batman of the past, They
have like every Flash, like Grant Gustin and Barry Allen, or what's his name, William Allen Shipp, or whatever, Wesley.
Yeah.
By the way, I just want to say hello to Dustin DForce23 in the chat. He's someone I haven't seen here before, so thanks for finding us.
Yeah. Thanks for weighing in, too. He says, nah, you can't make a 7 without the R. No way 7 is near as good without the R. Not just gore, but shock and language. Yeah, you actually make a really good point about that, because a lot of people don't know, like, the R rating, a lot of times, it has more to do with like the amount of times you drop F-bombs as opposed to blood. So that movie, like the language definitely plays a big part in it. And if they did drop like more profanity in Matt Reeves' Batman, I suppose I would probably like it more.
And I'm going to be honest, as movie aficionados, I have to just tell you guys, the MPAA just does whatever they want. Like, if they don't like you or they do like you, they're just going to be like, we'll put the R on it. Because there's so much of a deep contrast. I usually don't pay attention to that either because I'm an adult, I guess. But there's such a deep contrast with what some things that are PG-13, you're like, oh, that was? And then versus rated R, like, you sure? Yeah.
Right.
It's whatever.
Exactly.
Mark, we've talked about this before, and you were in the movie, obviously, but in The Dark Knight, they really pushed the boundaries for PG-13 in The Dark Knight.
They did. But there wasn't a ton of blood either. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was, it's hard to say what I'm trying to say here. Like, they told the story that they needed to tell without it being R. Do you know what I mean? And if they had pushed that boundary, would that have made it a better movie? Do you really think that, like, that movie, like, to me, that movie is near perfect as it is.
I agree with you. It's near perfect. I still think The Dark Knight is the best movie of that decade of the 2000s.
As far as comic book adaptations, for me, that's a top 3.
Same here.
Possibly a top 2.
It's on.
Oh yeah.
If there's a Mount Rushmore of comic book films, Dark Knight is one of them for me. I mean,
right.
Logan, without a doubt. Infinity War, without a doubt.
Yeah. You're 100% correct.
I was just looking at Mortal Kombat. That's rated R. That didn't help. So there you go. That's a prime example. I just had to check. I was like, what's that one?
I should have led with that.
The thing about Mortal Kombat was, like, the first one was PG-13, and again, it didn't have, like, all the blood and gore, but there were some scenes, for example, Shang Tsung getting impaled in the spikes, Scorpion exploding in the fire.
Yeah, Melina getting the...
Like, they pushed the boundaries a little bit.
But the plot was still bleh. So that's to Mark's point.
Yeah,
there you go. Rabbit hole, but considering the first movie
a little bit
came out, you know, and then the new movie, which had 20 plus years of games to choose from.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't good. The first the '95 movie is still king to me, and I
without a doubt, yeah, still is, yeah.
Yeah, and I go back to that one.
And that brings me to another point, another segment, should I say. I'm going to give Jay the floor here because there was a game that he was highly anticipating to come to Fandome that didn't even make it, even though the producer of the game was there.
Yes, so Mark, Ed Boon, for those who don't know, he's the creator of Mortal Kombat, and he's also the creator of Injustice.
Oh, Ed Boon, yeah.
He was there to talk about the Injustice animated movie, which comes out next week. The moment I saw Ed Boon, I started tweeting out to everybody. I tweeted out to Tab Monk. I tweeted out to I messaged Joe. I'm like, Joe, Ed Boon's here. Like, is he gonna say it? Is he gonna say? Is Injustice 3 gonna happen? No.
No.
It's not gonna happen. Well, in the near future, you mean? But I'm sure it will definitely.
I mean, it's still rumored
eventually, yeah.
But
Ed Boon is very tight-lipped when it comes to new releases.
I mean, if the game is in fact in development, they missed a golden opportunity because they were talking about the Injustice movie. They could have said everything they had to say, and then they'd be like, "Oh yeah, guess what? Injustice 3 is happening. You don't have to show anything. Just tell us." Like, for example,
that's true. They could have just dropped that.
Yeah. Like, for example, Patty Jenkins showed up for the Wonder Woman panel because it's Wonder Woman's 80th anniversary, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, we're getting ready to do Wonder Woman 3, but I can't talk about it." She literally said that. Like, yep, we're doing Wonder Woman 3. Gal's excited, I'm excited, but we can't talk about it.
Sayonara.
Like, I would have been okay with Ed Boon saying, "Yeah, Injustice 3 is coming, but we have nothing to show right now." But no, they did. All it was Ed Boon said, "Oh yeah, I'm so happy that I made this game and you guys made it into a comic and then you made it into a movie, you know, this animated movie." And then he's like, "I also really love the fact that the super moves are in the movie, which is, you know, the finishing moves." And,
right.
And then I'm just like, God damn it! That's all he said.
In this day and age, video game sequels, I hate to say it, it's harsh truth. They're kind of unnecessary. It's like Overwatch 2, where they won't necessarily make a brand new game. They'll just put new characters in, as long as they keep feeding you with downloadable DLC and different stuff and new characters, new skins, even add-on stories too. You know, I mean,
the first two Injustice games have fantastic story. At least I think they do. They have great story modes. And where now, I know the comic went further, but where the second game ended was Batman putting Superman in the Phantom Zone. The alternate ending, where
Superman's evil.
Yes, Superman puts Batman under his control. So, like, they can't end it there. They gotta do a third game.
Nope. Well, like Aftermath was that, like for Mortal Kombat, it was kind of like the extra, story that was an add-on. It might be cheaper for developers to do that, to just make a side story. Hey, it's only a couple hours or a couple whatever, but here we got 5 new characters, which, seems to be the more sensible route from the studio standpoint. But I hear you. I know, having sequels is always good, but yeah.
Yeah, like I said, we'll have to wait and see, but but the Injustice movie drops next week, and of course some of the leaks that are out there, I guess, have not been positive, so I kind of killed my enthusiasm for it.
The couple of scenes that I saw, like I didn't see it at Fandom, I just like saw some of the leaks, like there's that one that's on YouTube where everything's in Spanish. I just didn't really, I'm not a fan of the animation. Like, it just doesn't, it's not up to par, like, to me. Like, it's like in terms of like all the other DC Universe movies that they've done, like Flashpoint Paradox and Throne of Atlantis, and like a lot of the other stuff that they've done previous, Doom. Like, they're just, this looks a little bit like the animation looks a little cheaper. Like they made a few shortcuts with it. Like, have you guys seen any of the footage at all?
Yeah, they showed at the Fandom today. And it was actually pretty cool. They showed the footage of when Superman essentially kills Lois. They showed that opening scene where Superman's flying to a submarine, goes inside, and it's laced with the kryptonite toxic nerve gas, and then you see Harley Quinn and Joker, and then Superman takes Doomsday into space, and then Batman, Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman show up, and then Joker's like, aha, I tricked Superman, da da da, and then the bomb explodes in Metropolis.
Right.
It was a cool scene. Now, again, that may be one good scene out of an entire shitty movie. Who knows? But
the movie is probably gonna be good regardless. I'm just saying the animation style was not really what I
see where you're
liked.
coming from, Mark. Yeah, the animation did look a little like choppy, like a lot of square jaws and like
very little detail.
I did my animation and I tried to do as many shortcuts as possible, and it still took months to do. So I'm always on the side of the animators. I have a soft spot in my heart. But I see what you're talking about. I see like where it's like, little like less frames per second. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I hope all the leaks that are out there, hopefully they're wrong. I mean, this was something I've been waiting for a long time. I mean, I think Injustice may work better as like a series instead of like a 1 hour and a half, 2 hour movie.
I agree. You need it to be a series, like especially like if they follow, and I don't know if they will or not, if they deviate from the actual comic. Because there's just so much in there, and there's so much opportunity to like really develop the characters and show you different facets of those characters and how Superman's decision has affected each one of them. Like, there's no way you can wrap that up into a 2 hour movie. I'm sure the movie's probably going to be good, but I don't think that it can measure up to that comic or the video game.
Yeah, like the story mode for each game, like they're both like 3 hours plus long. So.
Right. Paul Tackett makes a good point. He says it looks kind of like Archer, or feels like Archer. I say it may not be that bad, but it's
That's harsh.
Yeah, it's a little too much.
Yeah, man.
All right. I'm trying to think of other stuff that was covered on DC Fan. It was a really, really brief panel, but they did talk about the Blue Beetle movie. And then the directors and the guy that's going to be playing Jaime. And they also did a really, really quick Batgirl panel. And the only thing I was really annoyed about the Batgirl panel is they still didn't reveal, like, what timeline this Barbara, like, I don't know if it's part of the Pattinson or if it's part of the DCEU. They didn't talk about any detail about that. They just interviewed the lady who's playing Batgirl. And that was basically it. They just, she's like, "Oh, I'm so excited to play this world." But yeah, those were both really, really small panels. They didn't show anything. They just basically say, "Hey, we're doing these movies here, and we're excited to play these, and I'm excited to direct these movies." Blah blah blah. Where there wasn't a whole lot to share, and then they showed like maybe one or two like pieces of concept art.
Gotcha.
So Blue Beetle, is it going to be Zolo from Cobra Kai?
Yes. Yeah, he's playing Jaime Reyes.
Say that's perfect. He's already been getting his action, his martial arts stuff going. So he's I think that prior to even doing Cobra Kai, he was like an experienced martial artist, and so like he's already got that background. I can really envision him in that role too. I mean, the kid's a good actor. Yeah, he knows action. He looks like Jaime from the comics. I'm really looking forward to that, actually.
Oh, yeah.
But I also want to see a Ted Kord Blue Beetle. Like, I want to see, like, the old school Blue Beetle, and maybe he'll be in it. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, and they actually did literally talk about this. The DC Fandome, they were really, like, trying to push, like, the diversity thing. So they really, like, delved deep into, like, we finally have this Mexican-American character that that we want that representation and so on and so forth.
And the director's Mexican too, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Angel something. I don't remember the guy's name. But yeah, they're definitely like It'll be cool. I'm actually really interested to see the Mexican flavor that they're gonna incorporate. And it'll be different for that universe,
Yeah, for sure.
We haven't gotten that. I mean, I'm not saying that we haven't had like enough Hispanic stuff. I'm saying like as far as like DC goes, we haven't gotten that yet. So
that's true.
That would be really cool to see.
Yeah. We're still waiting on Miles Morales to come through and swing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's Mexican or not, but he's Hispanic.
Yeah, it's just funny that it looks like Blue Beetle is gonna make a movie appearance before Miles, like as far as live action goes.
Like a live action. Yeah.
That it's gonna be there before Miles Morales, as far as we know.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
I would put Into the Spider-Verse in my Mount Rushmore. It's one of the best. If not the best comic book movie, it's one of the best.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. It does not get enough praise, and I think it's just really because it's an animated movie. Like if it was a live action, I think we'd be.
And you were talking about how you didn't like the animation in the other one. Yeah, the animation in Into the Spider-Verse.
That's
like
why though.
Unmatched.
They set the bar so high.
Well, not just that, but remember, it came out the same weekend as Aquaman, so it kind of like got buried under the radar a little bit too.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I agree. I love Into the Spider-Verse. It was definitely a lot of fun, and I don't know if it's like my favorite Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man 2 is still my favorite, but Into the Spider-Verse is definitely my second favorite among every single Spider-Man movie that's been in theaters the last 20 years. I think Into the Spider-Verse is definitely like up there.
Yeah.
Mark,
I agree with that.
Another panel that dropped today, and I want to talk to you about because I'm not familiar with this particular comic. So you know how Ava DuVernay was originally attached to New Gods?
The New Gods, yeah.
So obviously she's not doing New Gods now, and I wonder if it had anything to do with the Snyderverse. But DC's keeping her, and she's going to be doing a movie, an HBO Max miniseries with Rosario Dawson, DMZ.
Okay.
So Ava DuVernay is teaming up with Rosario Dawson for a DMZ miniseries on HBO Max. They did an interview with her, and they showed some behind the scenes, not footage, but pictures on set. So I just want to get your reaction to that, and if you can give us any background on DMZ, because I'm not familiar with it.
I'm just very vaguely familiar with DMZ. I've never read it. Maybe Paul Tackett or somebody in the chat has read it, but my understanding is that it's basically like America is going through sort of like a civil war, and you have like this part of the country is run by this government and this part is run by another government, and then there's like a demilitarized zone where it's kind of like a no man's land. And that you know what I'm saying, and they basically have it's not like they have their own government, but it's basically like whoever has the most power, whoever has the most arms, the most power, whatever, they make the rules, and then that's always changing. That's always you know what I mean, this regime's getting toppled, and this one, and then this one, and then this one. So I haven't read it enough to give you any kind of real backstory.
Well, you did explain it very well.
That's just that's just my general understanding.
I'm reading something here. I'm reading something here that says it's set in the near future where a second American Civil War turned the island of Manhattan into a demilitarized zone. And
Rosario Dawson's in it. I'm sold. I love her.
That's all we need.
That was all I needed.
I love this damn art style.
Yeah.
What's that?
I love this art style. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just cool that Ava DuVernay, she lost her job for, not by her fault, but she lost her job to do the New Gods because that was scrapped. But it's cool that DC and Warner Brothers is keeping her for something else. That based on what you guys are all telling me, this may be more up her alley anyways.
Yeah, I agree. You know what I mean? And it's different for DC. They're not really... I like that they're branching out from the DCEU, and this is not a DCEU diss, because there are some DCEU movies that I do really like. But I like that they're branching out from that, and they're not just leaning on the holy trinity of superheroes. They're telling these other stories, and they're doing more multiversal stuff. And they're doing the multiversal stuff in a different way than Marvel is doing it. They're like not trying to connect all these things. They're just like, this is a different version of Batman than this, and they never meet. Like, I kind of like that about them.
Yeah. Yeah, and it'll be cool. And like I said, it's more like what Joshua was just saying earlier, that HBO Max needs more DC series. Well, there's another one that's coming. You know, you got DC,
right.
You got Batgirl, you got Peacemaker. So they're and Pennyworth, Titans, Doom.
Did they talk at all about like the Gotham Central or the Gotham PD TV show?
No, they didn't talk about that, and they didn't talk about Penguin either.
Wow, that's surprising, man. Because like the news of that broke like before really any of these other things.
Yeah.
And I know that they were talking about scrapping it, like doing away with that. But then I saw an article saying that it was back in development. So I don't know, maybe it's in some kind of limbo, but that's one that I would really be hyped to see, especially since it was gonna be in the Pattinson universe.
Yeah.
You know, like it was gonna be like a spin-off of the Batman. So that was like one of the most interesting pieces of news from last year's Fandome, you know, and it's it's kind of surprising that they didn't even mention it this year.
I was going to make a stupid joke. I didn't do it before, so I'm just going to do it now. I was going to say, is Robert Pattinson the kid from Joker? The Joker movie?
Yeah.
Kill his parents.
I really wanted them to connect those two movies. I really did.
I mean, Joaquin Phoenix would have to be like 70 years old if they did that. So, I don't think...
I don't think that's going to be the case.
They did say that Joaquin Phoenix character was 35 years old.
Right.
Because... You know, obviously the actor's almost 50, but he's 35 because he lives such a hard life. You know, he's and then
but he would
for a while that the new Batman movie is going to take place in the 90s. So I'm thinking.
Oh, okay. That might work because Joker, if I'm not mistaken, it takes place in 1982.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So. He could have been the Joker for like 10 years, 15 years, and then Batman comes along, and he would be noticeably older, right? But like, still young enough for them to actually do battle. That actually could work.
This is a super fan theory, but if it is true, that would be nuts.
Yeah.
That would be nuts if it was true.
But yeah, we're also still hearing rumblings about a Joker sequel too. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which they did not. There was anything about Joker. There was no Joker panel or anything like that. Anything else that we didn't? Joe, is there anything else we did not cover? We covered quite a lot of ground.
There's some bits and pieces and stuff, but nothing.
I know there was a milestone panel that they talked about like briefly, and they talked about Static Shock. They're going to do a live action Static Shock movie.
Okay.
Or live action Static, I should say. Static is the character.
Oh.
But yeah, like I don't.
There was that.
Did you guys catch any of that?
Bat Wheels or whatever. They have that too. But
I didn't.
There's like how like the Batmobiles. That is kind of like it was like their version of like Disney's Cars, but Batmobiles or something. Kids.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be like a series. It's not a movie. It's like a series or something. Oh, Aquaman's getting some weird ass cartoon. I didn't care for it. What they showed. Again, Harley Quinn's getting season 3. Obviously focusing on the relationship with Poison Ivy this time.
Young Justice, Phantoms.
Oh yes, Young Justice. Crap. When did they say that's dropping?
I think they said it's now streaming. Like it's out.
They showed Young Justice. I'm trying to think if there's anything that we did not cover.
I would just say
the Catwoman movie or TV show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was an animated movie, I think it was.
Yeah, it's an animated and it's actually done in like an anime style, which I saw some pieces of that, which looked really impressive to me. Like I actually like that. I'm hyped for it. Like they actually made Catwoman more like Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop, which I've always thought that she is sort of like the Catwoman of that universe. So to me, that it's like a no-brainer. Like they should have done this a long time ago. So hopefully that'll be good. I'm actually excited to see that one.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we can conclude it with this, and I want everybody's opinion.
Yeah.
Who won DC Fandome? Me personally, I think the Flash did. What? That's just me. What do you guys think?
I mean, the Batman is what I've been waiting for, and it's what I'm excited for most. Like I said, it comes up my birthday month. It's different from a lot of these other movies, and has a different tone that I'm excited to see. Love Robert Pattinson, so for me, the Batman.
Absolutely. Mark, what about you? I know you didn't get to watch per se, but after reviewing everything, who do you think won DC Fandome today?
I mean, I'd have to agree with Josh and say the Batman. You know, I think that is, out of this condensed version of fandom, like that was the news that dropped that was my most anticipated. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like it's news, like we didn't know it was coming, but they at least gave us a new trailer. They gave us more insight as far as like this version of Batman. And it really, that was the one that got me the most like salivating. Like, even though I'm interested in the Flash, that I don't want to say a panel, but that segment didn't really give us anything. You know what I mean? It was just like, well, we don't have a trailer. Well, we don't have this. Like, well, we don't have that. So, I mean, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Matt Reeves on this one.
Joe, what do you got? I'm just looking at the chat too, but Joe, what do you got?
I'm gonna have to go with a tie because I need a movie and a game. So the movie that won, I'm gonna say Black Adam. Oh. And the game, I'm gonna say the game that won is gonna be Gotham Knights.
I'm excited for the Black Adam and Shazam too, and all of it. But, that too.
Absolutely, yeah. But yeah, it was a great goddamn panel. I'm looking at the chat. Paul Tackett says Black Adam. Byron Kingsley says the Batman. He also says Batman better be rated R. So yes, everybody in the chat, everybody who's listening to the podcast on Podbean or whatever, who do you think won DC Fandome? What movie and what DC project, what show are you excited for the most? Is there anything that disappointed you? That meaning, like, was there something that did not get announced or was not showcased that let you down? We would love to know. So let us know in the comment section. Let us know if you're listening to the podcast. Let us know in the Facebook discussion group as well. Shameless plug. Check out the Facebook NerdCage Live Facebook discussion group as well as the Movie Aficionados Facebook discussion group. The link will be in the description. Also, subscribe to Movie Aficionados, the YouTube channel. Joshua is pumping out movie reviews every week.
And I'm getting back into it, man. So
every week. So,
Thank you.
So, Josh, go ahead and promote yourself. If there's anything you want to plug in, anything you want to add, or anything you want to say to the audience, by all means, I'll give you the floor.
Yeah, man. First off, I would say not just subscribe to me, subscribe to everybody here on this panel. It's an awesome panel. Go check out Movie Aficionados group on Facebook. We have, we do movie discussions, news, reviews, etc., etc. Personally, like Jason said, I do movie reviews for all different crazy movies. You know, the stuff that nobody sees, the A24s, the neon stuff, the indie stuff, if you're into that. And also, I stream. I play Magic the Gathering. So if you guys are Magic players, check out that. I play like every day or so, every other day. And that's it, man. Love you guys 3,000, like Morgan Stark said.
Also, I love your Rotten Tomatoes reactions streams.
Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah, I do that too. I rip on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, and by the way, like I always say, that's another thing. Don't always trust Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
I
100% agree, man. And Joe, remember when we did our Snake Eyes rapid review, and we said, don't let other websites like sway you. Go on your own,
Yeah, us included. Make your own decision.
Yeah. Amen. Mark, I know we had some stuff drop this week, so go ahead and plug away.
Yeah, so just the other day we dropped our 20th anniversary episode for Training Day. So this one, obviously, Jay's very excited. This is probably his favorite. Would you say this is your favorite movie of all time?
It's a top 10 favorite movie, and I think it is Denzel's best.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely one of Denzel's best. We had a ton of fun making this one, and we just dropped it the other day. It's up on our channel. Please check that out. And last night we recorded an episode with Wes Jones from Real Talk, a movie podcast. This being October, we decided to do a retrospective on Halloween 2. So that will be up very shortly. Keep your eyes peeled for that one.
Yes. Joe, anything else you want to add? Anything you want to plug before we call it a night here?
Just make sure you tune in Tuesday on our Twitch channel. We're going to be continuing our rendition of Resident Evil 8 Village.
I love it. Love Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, we've been twitching Resident Evil 8 every Tuesday for the month of October until we beat it. And just last night, we twitched Metroid Dread, and we're going to continue. We didn't beat it last night. We made some progress, but we didn't beat it.
Yeah.
So for sure, next Friday, we will be on Twitch again next Friday for Metroid Dread. And the Metroid countdown video is still baking in the oven. But let me tell you something. I'll reiterate. When your mama and your grandma's baking cookies or baking pie or whatever, you know that it's baking really slow and it smells really good. You don't want to rush it. That's the Metroid countdown. All right, it's baking in the oven right now, and I'm telling you, this shit smells fantastic, and I know you guys are gonna love it. When this shit drops, you're gonna love it. I'm hoping to have it ready this week, if not next week, but I'm confident I can get it done, at least close to get it done this week. If you guys love the Planet of the Apes countdown, and you guys like the other gaming countdowns, listen, this Metroid countdown's dope as hell, and I guess while we're here, I guess I can reveal that next month's countdown we'll be dropping on Thanksgiving as Mark, myself, Brian from Monstrosities, and Titan Goji. We're going to be doing a Rocky countdown discussion in celebration of the 45th anniversary of the movie. So keep your eyes out for that. I'm really, really excited. These countdown videos have been getting really good responses, and I'm going to keep. I have a schedule of these planned. And so like I said, Metroid drops this month. Rocky will be dropping next month. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And again, thank you to everybody who's coming on the TikTok page, checking out the what ifs and the other movies we've done. The Facebook discussion group is always popping. You guys are always posting the best memes. Telling you, it brightens my day. You guys, the NerdCage Nation. You guys are awesome. You guys have a sense of humor. You guys speak my language. I love the stuff you post. I love the news that you guys drop. So thank you for utilizing that page. It's a page that we made for everybody. So thank you. Really, really appreciate the support. Thanks to everyone who comes on the Twitch streams and TikTok and who interacts with us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you so much. And everyone who came out of their way to be here tonight for DC Fandome. That's all I got. Again, check out Movie Aficionados on the Facebook group page and on YouTube. I will put the links in the description. So before we go, we ask you to please like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and spread that shit like syphilis. So you guys say, from Syracuse, New York, to Louisville, Kentucky, to New Jersey, to all of our friends and fans around the world at NerdCage Live. As always, enjoy life, stay safe, and good night.
Sayonara.
Good night.
NerdCage Live and gaming are a perfect match.
Shoot the J, Joe. Okay. Shoot it! All right.
Over on NerdCage Live on Twitch, Jay and Joe go live.
Call me Bazooka Joe.
It's all about you.
Kaboom!
Playing both old school and new school games every Tuesday night. Ooh, what a sight!
Jay, stop looking at her face and run.
But she's so beautiful.
So be sure to follow NerdCage Live on Twitch.
Run for your life, Joe. Run for your life, Joe.
Running.
Run faster. Oh no, Joe. The galaxy's doomed because of you.
To scratch your gaming itch.
Oh, nice kick, Joe.
Thank you.
About you.
Yo, that's diabolical.
About humanity.
Wait. Yo!
That's twitch.tv/NerdCage Live. Ooh, trying to get out of the Nerdcage, are ya? Well, before you go, hit that subscribe button. And if you're really intrigued, ring that bell. Thank you for dropping by. Until next time, tell everyone you know about NerdCage Live!